How's it going, you guys, and welcome. Good morning, Cop. We start today off with Abdul Myanmar coup. The top Myanmar general has officially put out a statement in his first address to the nation since the coup ensued, now dictating the fact that the election process was misused under the COVID 19 guidelines. The top military general also dictated the fact that the people should not follow their feelings and instead follow facts. That despite numerous calls by the military to recheck the election count as well as to check for any fraudulent activity, there was nothing done. And hence the military went ahead with the coup. Now people are very, very upset with the whole concept of a military general just being able to access the country's biggest reserves in terms of military might and just taking over the entire nation to no one being able to hold him accountable for it. Now, it turns out that this military general has also declared that he will, in fact, reorganize elections, and then whoever wins this election, it will be a fair democracy. And the military has taken it upon itself to make sure that the democratic process of this nation is well to the right avails of the constitution. Everything that the military is doing right now, for anyone who even has half a brain, understands that it is completely wrong. On an international scale, there has been ginormous outcry, but to no avail. People have also dictated the fact that this approach by the military results in nothing but bloodshed. It's happened twice earlier under the last military coup. And now that the people of Myanmar were finally living in a true democracy, here we are again in the year 2021 where they are facing military coups again. Now, with the internet being restored, even more communication areas are being established as well as even more protests are being put together. Amongst fears of more protests, the military has officially put out a statement dictating that any and all forms of protests are banned. In the protests in the nation's capital, we saw that the police were met with raging cries by the protesters dictating that they should support the people and not the military, which were met with the police using water cannons. And an official statement was put out to the protesters that if they did not disperse, live fire would be used. All of this is an unprecedented move, but what history dictates to us is the fact that the military brass is not afraid to shed the blood of its own people. We move on to the fact that the United States has now taken a drastic step towards Russia. Ever since the Biden administration came into power, their approach towards Russia was completely different than his predecessor Donald Trump. What we understand today is the fact that Biden openly dictated that he will not step down to Russian aggression, and Russia should be put in its place for making the world its playground essentially. Well, Biden has openly asked the United States Air Force to launch 4B-1 bombers to Norway along with 200 personnel. Now, this unit is going to be running various missions in the Arctic Circle, essentially, on international airspace as well as international waters. Nevertheless, what we understand is the fact that there is significant Russian presence in the Arctic Circle with intercontinental ballistic missile systems as well as numerous vessels and air force presence. All of this dictates the fact that a new Cold War or a new hot war might just ensue in the Arctic Circle. Now, if that ever happens and if non-nuclear war breaks out, we are looking at war at the scales of which we haven't comprehended since the Second World War, raising alarms on an international scale by numerous peacekeepers who've gone out of their way to dictate that no such aggression should take place, that both Russia as well as the United States should talk in diplomatic terms, and the United Nations is being appealed by numerous organizations to intervene. We also understand the fact the first call that Russian President Vladimir Putin received from Joseph Biden, well, it did not go well. Biden openly accused Putin of meddling in the United States elections as well as poisoning of his top opposition leader Navalny, who's now jailed in Russia. Well, amongst all of this, we see tensions between the United States as well as Russia rise, with Russia now siding more towards China, the other prominent threat to the United States economy as well as to the sovereignty of the United States, as China has stated on numerous occasions that they consider the United States to be their number one enemy. Now, if the United States and China and Russia end up going to war in any way, shape, or form, we understand that there will be, well, countries split into two different halves again. Just like World War II, we'll have two different forces, two different factions, if you will. Russia and China are already in talks about joint military actions, and joint military training exercises in the Arctic Sea. We also saw what appeared to be a very close call when a Russian fighter jet came in very close proximity to a United States fleet in the Arctic Sea. All of this just raises more tensions than ever before, and what we do understand is the fact that none of these training exercises are, well, merely training exercises. They are all done to put a statement down to their opposition, dictating that we are ready and we are capable of fighting any aggression that you might put forth. With that being said, the world is in turmoil for now. The Uttarakhand floods, the updates are still anyone's guess. There's no concrete evidence about what happened, about how it happened, and about the actual number of casualties that are in place. What we do understand, however, is the fact that with the Myanmar coup, with the Indian floods, with tensions rising between the United States and Russia, with South Africa facing its own backlash because of the vaccine ban, as well as on numerous occasions, North Korea stepping out of its bubble every once in a while to, well, launch empty or, well, not so empty threats. What we do understand today is the fact that the world is ever evolving and it's more essential today than ever before to stay updated with the news. Make sure you stay on this space, and until then, this has been your morning cup. I'll see you tomorrow.